comp plants are. But this one is known as a 3-up Australian plant. It's not important that you know that. You can forget it today. But essentially, it's the one that deals with the power of 3, giving credit to people in the tranches of 3. You get promoted in 3, but essentially, rather than a binary or a trinary or a trinary hybrid or a forced matrix, any of these other things that you might hear out there, ours is a unilevel. We already know the Latin. Uni, unus, all mean one. So our responsibility is to work on one level. And I got a call this week. Hey, I really enjoyed your little discussion Saturday. I said, oh, great. I still don't get it. I said, well, at least you had the common sense to tell somebody that you don't get it. And what is it that you don't get?
And if your religion tells you that, people...
Well, I don't get this thing you were telling me about. How do you get the people on your 7th level, or how do you get the people down on level 100 if we're so blessed to have that many people come into our organization? And I responded in my usual terse fashion. I said, well, I can promise you this before I answer that question. You're not going to get those people down there. And, well, what are you talking about? I mean, it's my organization. And I said, oh, that's what you don't get. When we talk about this concept of leverage, just understand it is based upon not a concept, proof. It's a mathematical idiom, I guess you call it. That if people get people, you get an exponential growth, and that's a whole lot of people doing just a little bit of work. Just imagine if somebody called you up and said, hey, I want you to join this company. It's going to cost you $300,000. You need this inventory. You got to go to herb school and find out all about all the glands in our body and what the herbs do to it. And then you're going to learn about oils and for $300,000, you can play in this industry of ours. But you got to sell, probably $100,000 to $150,000 worth of stuff a month, and you might get rich. How many people will be throwing money at you to get into an organization where you got to work that hard? Now, I'm not suggesting that you don't have to work, but I am suggesting that on a unilevel plan, we focus, and it's unselfish, quite frankly. It's not selfish. We focus upon the recruiting side of our business because it's the recruiting side of our business that is the attraction of the business. All right? We don't have to prove. We can be selling needles. It doesn't make any difference. If somebody's out there selling a lot of needles, they're tired of selling needles. If they've got an army, as I call it, an organization of people who are fired up about needles, they don't sell them all on their own. That's the nature of leverage. So the good news is you are right. You've heard it correctly. You are in business for yourself, but not by yourself. What you've got to do is build a strong organization that evolves around your frontline people. Now, that doesn't mean somebody on the second line should be ignored. The cream will always rise to the top. The people who are going to network are going to network with or without you. So back to last week when we were talking in my little euphemisms here, we were talking about the idea of shucking oysters looking for pearls. I mean, you've got to shuck a bunch of oysters to find a meaningful pearl out there. You break your teeth on one of those hard pieces of sand, but I'm talking about a meaningful gem. Huh? So as I look at the comp plan, I talk to enough people who ask me about these things, and for the most part, we only know what we know, or say it the other way. We don't know what we don't know. Now today, does it make any difference that it's day 3 listening to my diatribe on unilevels and the fact that everything that happens is a result of that recruiting function, but nobody gets paid in spite of the objective here to build an army of ambassadors. Nobody gets paid anything unless customers are gathered. That's why we've got the self-consumption compliance that we have to go through. I mean, I could just see, if you're making X number of $1,000 a month, and you don't like gathering customers, I would imagine you can go out there and buy all those things and give them to your friends, but the money still doesn't flow through the company into somebody else's hands unless somebody gets the Welcome Essentials in their hands, gets them to try it for 5 days, with the understanding that it's probably going to take longer. We don't cure anybody. Everybody knows that. But if we're focused in on getting people on our front line who understand, who get it, then you're going to see that they will in turn keep it as simple as I've been trying to keep it. Forget the names, forget the resources, forget the fact that I learned that stuff 25 years ago, longer than that actually. And when we tell everybody, welcome to the business, if you want to be successful in this business, keep your nose out of the website. You don't have to know all there is to know about CBD. So we've got some brochures coming that are very, very beautiful. And you'll be able to pass some of those out to people.
Brochures coming.
Remember, perhaps the first week we talked openly about anatomy, and the anatomical wit that I had was that we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. We should listen twice as much as we speak. And that's part of this unilevel idea. If you want to get 10 people on your front line, then I would say, I would focus, I would tell everybody who comes into the business, well, the first thing you ought to do is you've got to contact about 100 people. And don't do it all today, because you can't talk to them all today. Break it up into tranches so you've got this objective every month. A lot of people say if you talk to 2 people a day, you'll recruit one at the end of the week. Well, that's 4 a month. And those people, at the end of the year, you've got a pretty decent organization, because if you play out that map of the exponential growth that's created, especially now that, Richard the Fast Start, upline and all the coding upline, if somebody goes out and gets those Welcome Essentials into the hands of 3 people that they register as customers, if they don't want to buy, they're not going to buy. It isn't going to hurt you to register. Ask me if they'll spend $30 to try something that you are finding, or you hear, or you've experienced, personally. It's just a phenomenal product. Now, let me give you the good news. Everybody, I don't care which coast we're on. Gary's got us covered out there on the left coast. I got you covered here in Florida. We got people in the middle. Fact of the matter is, my friends, we're not going to sell everybody. And I hope that's not an epiphany. When you stop and think about the fish oil that's out there, the vitamins that are out there, the Shaklee people, the Herbalife dynasty, the Amway folks, you can't go anywhere. New Essentials here in Florida, you can't go anywhere without somebody introducing something for you. They're going to get rid of your dead brain matter with jellyfish. I mean, there's more stuff out there than you can shake a stick at. So we've got to go to each his or her own. We've got Ford people. We've got Chevy people. We've got people that only sail on a certain kind of boat. We've got people who, everything that they wear is a label. Tommy Hilfiger and Calvin Klein and all these people with names. All we're trying to do is build our brand awareness for Nexel. Is everybody going to buy CBD? Probably not. But let me tell you what I do believe. With this unilevel, this organization that you're building, just continue to work on that. Once people get it, it's going to fall into place. The exponential growth will come with enthusiasm and simplicity. There's no other magic. There's no silver bullet here, my friends. I've been looking for it for a long, long time. And I'm not, normally a self-deprecating guy. I try to remain as humble as I can. But I want you to know that I am an excellent teacher. I am not the world's greatest recruiter, because I'm a little Some people used to say that I'm stronger than an acre of garlic, and Steve used to say you talk too much, or don't beat them up for God's sakes. Somewhere along the line, somebody told me, you remind me of one of those guys that you put a quarter in their ear and they move, like a ride outside of a supermarket. You tell how old I am. I haven't seen rides outside of supermarkets in a long time. But anyway, you know which one I mean. So as I'm talking to the people in the organization, I'm saying I've got to make sure that I stop people from doing what I used to do. And I had the need to know, man, that's what teachers do. They get their lesson plans going. They make sure you cover these points and all that. With a little bit of luck, 6 hours go by and you learn something about the business that you're in. I love doing that. But we've got to grow our little army a little bit better so we can take this training to the blackboard and live. I know we can do webinars and we can do videos. So they're all coming. I think we've got to sit there and draw on paper where we used to. I don't care if we're in a linear society, a digital world, or what. Fact of the matter is that tactile kind of learning is very effective, always will be, just like we learned the 1, 2, 3 deal in the beginning here today. So anyway, let's touch upon this. Talking to people that we want to bring into the business. We can address it with the bottle. We can address it with the business. If you say, have you had your CBD today? And they say, what the heck is CBD? You've got something to talk about. If you don't want to mention CBD because you're not feeling all that good, you say, I was just introduced to a product that makes me feel great, but I see an opportunity to make some money. Are you open to make some money with me if I help you do it? That's leading with the business. And we're looking for the ones who are looking for us, my friend. Don't try to convert your twisted old brother-in-law. He's been on the crooked path for a long time. Don't plan on straightening him out. Not that he couldn't, or she, whoever it is. Not that they couldn't. Every now and then, I guess we could save a soul if we give them some purpose. But don't go out there and try to cure the world with CBD. And don't go out there and try to cure famine and pestilence and brokenness by thinking that you're going to recruit everybody on the planet and save their soul. That's not the way it works. And I'm not lecturing you. I think you all figured that out already. But when you put all of this into perspective, when we say, the business isn't easy, but it is simple, and we boil it down to 3s. This new option kit, okay? The managing rep option. If somebody listens to your little story, we got the sizzle call up, I think. It's supposed to be. Roy will tell us. So we've got a sizzle call, little way to get people to say, oh, that sounds interesting. Okay, I'll look further. And that's all we want you to do. That's all we want you to do. And when they come into the business, you're going to tell them it's $300, but you've got to be a product of the product. Come on, man. How do you expect to talk to people? How do you expect to tell them about CBD and all that if you're not using the product yourself? And I'd recommend, based upon the price, what happens when you come into the business, you can buy the Nexel kit for $99.97. That's under $100. You're saving a bunch of money, and you're going to use the product. Now, as you already know, the sponsor gets paid those 3 loaves. You get paid all the bonuses, but those first 3 products, by the way, go to the sponsor. So I'm talking to you all who are sponsors. And I want you to tell the people that come into the business this week, I'm telling you this because by the end of the week, you are going to be a sponsor. And you want your front line, your personally sponsored unilevel people to understand the simplicity of the plan. And if we all go out there talking that way, I'm trying my very best, my friends. I love what I do, and I love the compensation side, but we've got to reduce it down once again to the least common denominator, maybe the least of us, the least intelligence, the least beauty, the least time. May we understand this as well as anybody else who's been doing it for a long, long time, whether they can do it well or not. There are a lot of people who are experts in this kind of stuff, but they don't go out there and talk to people. They're just experts. All right, what else? So that 9997 kit is the way to go. Money flows. Get people to do that right away. If they don't have the money, kind of remind them the last stupid thing that they spent money on. I'm looking around. I'm watching people with cars. They've got thousands of dollars worth of wheels on them and a stereo system that'll blow the back window out. And they're driving around complaining because they don't have a job, or I don't understand it. And in my own life, I know I go out and eat, and you get a check for $50, and you say, well, I should have stayed home and had a sandwich. But the fact of the matter is that the life goes on. You're going to meet people who aren't happy doing what they're doing. Say, I can help you. And tell them that I can help you. They're going to say, how are you going to help me? Well, all I want you to do is look at a couple things. You be the judge, not me. If you want me to help you do this, we'll do it. You just continue on to build that unilevel, going wide, all right? Because when the system grabs the first three, that's what happens, and they gather their customer points. All you have to make sure is that you've got 10 customer points. You're an AD. We're going to get 3 more, and then we're going to get 3 more. God only knows how many it's going to take. But you get compensated every time somebody comes in and buys a product and tries it. So you start a ratio, and over a period of time, you're going to say, for every 10 people I talk to, 1.6 people come in. It's a little short guy. Okay, that 0.6. But you got the point. 1.6 people come in every time I talk to 10. So if I'm going to talk to 100, and like I said before, you don't do it all in one day. So this is going to happen over a period of time. Everybody else remembers me saying, who's on the call today? If somebody doesn't answer, I say, oh, it must be a secret agent. And I say that respectfully to all the secret agents there are in the world. But, the thing about this business is you get better and better at it. When I say talk to about 100 people, you'll have 10. By the time you talk to 100 people, you will have your own little story polished, and I promise you it will be shorter than what you're saying today. And it will probably be more effective because you're going to have that confidence. And it doesn't come from going to a seminar. Tony Robbins isn't going to jack you up and send you home and get to be a multimillionaire in the multi-level marketing business. Motivational speakers will entertain you while they're there. But because we're all humans, we tend to go back to who we are on Monday. It really doesn't make much. Motivation is an internal thing. Nobody else can motivate you. They can motivate you by saying, I'm going to can you if you don't do your job. They'll motivate you to say 3 people are going to get promoted, and if you keep this up, you'll be one of them. That'll change your behavior. Start to perform. That's pretty much what we do here. Business for ourselves, but not by ourselves. In a unilevel compensation plan driven by the finest CBD product on the market.
You really bit my hand.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Roy did 20% for the new customers. I didn't talk about that. Everybody's got to understand that the customer is going to get 20% discount on their first order. And that's going to create some behavior, too, because the price will go up. If they like it, they're going to say, man, that's expensive. And you're going to show them the Buyers Club. That's awesome. The opportunity to become a managing rep and buy 4 of the products each month. Roy, if you're on there, you want to jump in and say anything in case I forgot?
I just put up around and stomp onto my shoe. It kind of reminded me of a movie line.
Okay.
I didn't exactly.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking at it. It's 11:24.
I really do.
I said same thing I said 2 weeks ago.
This time we'll cut off your
same way, but different. We're talking about the unilevel comp plan. It stresses, A, the simplicity of it, B, the fact that it's duplicable or duplicatable, as some people say, and the fact that everybody wins if they listen to what we offer.
Fucking possible.
As a new rep coming into the business, as a new rep, the product of the product, understand that you get paid, you like getting paid.
Okay, I'm
We're not doing
voluming
this to save the world. We're going to get compensated very, very well to introduce this to the world. Those people are going to have to buy.
Yeah, anyway, there are 3 participants on the
And we're not doctors.
Yeah.
You can't tell them do this or you're going to die. That doesn't happen. Just a lot of people having fun. I've had enough fun for the day. Everybody say a prayer for our friend Dave. He's on the line. He's still in the hospital. He's a tough guy, and I speak with both Dave and Lana often, and he's going in to get some tests. But he's got CBD and his God on his side, and he's golden. A couple other people came on the call. The person that said I didn't get it joined us today, and I know that person gets it now, because it can't get any simpler than what I'm explaining to you. The hard part is going out and doing it now. Just talk to some people. I've been blessed today. You all be blessed as well. Gary, California, Gary, don't forget, if you need me, you got it. And everybody enjoy their Saturday. Take care, my friends.